Good morning, riders. Today's Friday, April 12th. I'm Kendall Dawson.
And I'm Justin Washington. Kendall and I are hosting CR Idol alongside with Miss Van Norman and Mrs. Taylor. You guys should pop out.
Yes, indeed.
And Noah Thompson.
Also, with the shirts, the forms for that are going to be out next week. All the information will be there.
Antonio Rivera, one of our ARVID students, won first place at the Delaware Press Association Communication Contest.
His video will be up for competition at the national level. Let's take a look at it.
With computer science being such an important part of so many careers these days, it's really important for students to get exposed to as much computer science as they can. We have taken part in the National Security Administration Day of Cyber. Right now, the girls are working on a Go Girls cybersecurity program. We created our own T-shirts, and one of the fun things we did was went to McIlvain Early Learning Center and taught the littlest riders how to code. This is not a club that is only for students on the computer science pathway. It's inclusive of anyone who is anywhere near interested. They're welcome to come to a club meeting.
Great job, Antonio.
And now for our segments.
Good morning, riders. My name is DeJohna Wynn, and let's take a look at our weather. Today it's going to be a little bit warm, but it also comes at a cost with an afternoon thunderstorm, so be on the lookout for that. Monday and Tuesday will be 62 with some possible rain. Wednesday and Thursday will be again a number of chances of rain with temperatures in the 50s. And Friday, we are looking at some rain in the morning, springtime. Make it an interest as usual. Anyway, that's all from me. I'm DeJohna, and here's the weather.
Dining with Dom. Dining with Dom. Good morning, riders. This is Dining with Dom, bringing you your lunch menu for next week. Now, Monday we have oven fried chicken. Tuesday we have Mandarin chicken. Wednesday we have buffalo chicken and cheesesteak. And Thursday we have chicken nuggets. And then Friday is the start of spring break. Thank you. This has been Dining with Dom.
Why is it that the mascot for Easter is always a bunny carrying white eggs, when bunnies don't lay eggs?
Good morning, riders. It's time for Motivational Moment with Kendall. Today's quote is by Robin Williams. It reads, "Spring is nature's way of saying, let's party. It's almost spring break, so last week, you got this." This has been Motivational Moment with Kendall. That's all for this week. Stay tuned for Antonio's movie review.
I'm Justin.
I'm Kendall. This is
Rider News.
Shazam is written by Henry Gayden, is directed by David F. Sandberg, and stars Zachary Levi. It follows the story of Billy Batson, a 14-year-old boy in Philadelphia who can harness the power of the superhero Shazam. Welcome to Writer Reviews. This is Antonio Rivera. Shazam is the only DC film I've seen in recent years that I can say with absolute honesty that I enjoyed. It does not do anything spectacular, but it doesn't do anything absolutely atrocious either. Everything was decently shot, the action wasn't impressive, but it was entertaining, and the acting ranges from great to kinda bad. What I really liked about Shazam is the balance it finds between its inherent goofiness and its sincere heart. The movie is really fun. It's got a lot of gags, a lot of jokes that work really well, and a lot of the best parts of the movie happen in the second act, right after Billy gets his powers. Seeing him experiment with his abilities and make a lot of funny mistakes is something I've always enjoyed in superhero origin movies or movies about characters with superpowers of some kind. There's a childlike quality to the film that makes me feel 10 years old again, and I mean that in a good way. Despite its consistent lightheartedness, there is a solid emotional foundation that the movie is built upon, and the filmmakers did a great job finding a balance between the comedy and the drama. There was never a massive clash of tone in the film. Its goofiness was always very apparent, but it still managed to make me feel something and hit those emotional notes. However, this is by no means a perfect movie. The first 20 minutes of the movie are actually quite weak. I was a little bored and generally disinterested with the setup and how the villain was introduced. I found the villain's motivations to be questionable at the best, but this is a goofy film, and they have a very flat, obviously a bad guy kind of villain, so they didn't need anything complex. He worked for the film, but I kind of wish he was a little bit more interesting. As I've said, the acting is a little all over the place. On one hand, Zachary Levi and Jack Dylan Grazer are actually really entertaining and have great chemistry as a duo, while most of the other children in the film are kind of annoying. This lessened throughout, but it was still worth noting. I also felt that the final fight lasted just a tad too long, but it did make up for it with a couple of fun surprises that I really wasn't expecting. The villain of the film is also supported by the physical embodiments of the 7 deadly sins, and I found this idea to be very cool, but the designs were very boring to me and one-dimensional. Greed has 4 arms, gluttony has a big stomach that becomes a mouth, envy is small and weak. It's all very basic, it's like the first thought that came to their head and they just ran with it. They were effectively just big scary monsters, and while the CG and details were nice on them, and sometimes a little bit impressive, I felt like they could have been developed more visually. Overall, I found Shazam to be a very enjoyable film. It's fun and lighthearted, with some good emotional depth, and because of how it made me feel, I can kind of forgive some of the faults it has.